I remember the exact moment when I couldn't get a job after 10 years of higher education. I remember very much in tears. And I want to talk about that today. I'm going to tell you a bit of a story in terms of what happened. And then hopefully, I'm going to help you walk through some of these moments that you go through because there's a lot of moments that you define in your head and other people define for you that there should be a certain way of how you actually pursue your career. Now, in my career, I'm more focused on doing things like academia and doing PhD life and things like that. But this is very much open to interpretation for all of you that are doing anything that is related to doing well in your own life. That goes for sports, that goes for doing something in business. This experience is pretty universal. I study failure, I study learning from failure, and I'm trying to build something that is incredibly difficult to build. So I want to talk about this. So this moment, I had an engineering degree from the best school in Canada. It's called the MIT of the North. I know that sounds really strange, but it's University of Waterloo. It's a great school. I had almost double majored in 2 degrees in chemical engineering, which is in high demand, and sociology because I wanted to become a manager. And then I had a master's degree in management science, which is a very sophisticated degree where you understand the mathematics of management, essentially. And then after that, I had pursued a PhD in strategic management, which I thought was going to be at one of the best schools in Canada. It's considered, if you look at it, a lot of people recognize it and understand it. That's where, the guy from Shark Tank, a lot of those guys are from, that people know, the Canadian guys are from Shark Tank. And I thought after 5 years of doing my PhD that it would be easy. I would send out my application and lots of people would be really interested in who I was. But I sent out 80 different applications and I got no replies back. Nothing. And when I sent that out, and I remember the exact moment when I was going through this, I remember the exact moment because I broke down in tears because I realized, I remember hugging my wife at the time. We had just had a baby and we were trying to struggle to make ends work. My wife works, but obviously she wanted to stay home with baby. And we had this conversation. It was a very powerful moment where I broke down and I realized, like, I am not the person I thought I was. And I'm sure you go through these moments all the time. Maybe you are a dropout, for example, of your own school. Maybe you thought you would do something and then you decided not to do it. Maybe you are a business failure. You tried something and it didn't work out for you. And I want to think about this. I want you to understand these moments of what it means to be a failure, right? So failure, I want you to think about this. I study failure. This is my field of study, by the way. So I'm very well aware of it. So failure, what it is that we have the stream of experiences that we pursue and that we live in life. And then we define the stream of experience. We have expectations on where we are going to go. And then we define it based on how the experiences actually equate into outcomes. Maybe you did well this year in a grade. Maybe you didn't do as well as you expected to be. And then we look at that outcome, which we chunk out that moment in time and we look at that outcome and we say, this is what it means to be me based on that outcome. This story, this one number is what it means to be me. And when it's not what we expect it to be, we internalize it and we say, man, I shouldn't have done that. That was a problem. I screwed up. And all of those things, you internalize it. And one of the things that is really, really powerful is that it's such a moment in time. We don't like to talk about it. It's such we bring all of these moments, all of these feelings that we have, and we put it into that one single moment, and we never talk about it again. Most people, when they experience these moments, and you could see it in their eyes, they will look the other way. They will not mention that thing happened, and they will paint a picture that is about something else. And if you take that to the extreme where you can't openly talk about anything that is negative, that becomes, narcissism. But most of us really struggle with those moments of what it means to be a failure, what it means to have things not work out for you. And there's all sorts of moments that you're going to go through in life, that you're going to go and have those feelings. At least I know for me, in the arena that I play in the business arena, having these moments are very, very common for a lot of people that are doing academics. They have these moments where they realize that it's not working out. They have these moments where I thought it would be a little bit different, but it wasn't this way. And when you go through these, I want you to really think about something. And I don't want you to blame yourself, and I don't want you to blame other things, but I want you to position it and think about the complexity of what you're going through. And so that's why I came and I started thinking about my own story of growing up in the middle of nowhere, like I like to say. I grew up in Dryden, Ontario, this little town that's 4 hours from any university. And I didn't have anybody that went to university in my back pocket. I didn't know of anybody other than teachers that did that. I didn't know a lot of the different things, a lot of the nuances. And when I start studying this stuff, and when I start looking at this, because I actually have a toy hobby of studying the sociology of science now, when you look at it, you see that, no, wait, a lot of people have actually somebody in their back pocket. A lot of people in my field, that there's lots of people that end up, their parents were professors, or somebody else was an academic, or something along those lines. And when you start looking at that, and you start looking at the system, at those moments where you thought you failed, those moments where you thought it didn't work out for you, you realize that there's a lot more nuance to your story. And when you openly investigate this nuance, all of a sudden, there's something that happens in you. All of a sudden, you can forgive some of yourself. So a lot of what I did, and that's why I started building the Reciprocity Project, is looking at this and start saying, wait a minute, I'm not the only one. I can build, so I began building a platform, a software platform to help out PhDs and researchers, but this could be applied to many different situations. When you start looking at this and you understand, I am not the only one. When you realize that there's many other people out there having these same experiences, you start to say, why is that the case? What is going on there? And I want you, when you go through these moments in life, that inevitably are not going to work out for you, because they all happen to all of us. It all is difficult, pushing against that stream of experience that you're going to face. What you're going to happen is you're going to have people that are going to judge you based on some expectation that they have that is not in line with your own situation. They don't know who you are. They don't understand what you are doing. And they are going to measure you by performance metrics that are often very far off from your own performance metrics and how you understand the world and what actually truly matters. One of the things that I talk to many people that are in the academic game, they often talk about, I am not going to be a success in my local environment where people judge me in my local environment, but I'm going to try to be a success in a broader environment. So that often means, and this is the challenging thing that we face, is that in our local environment, we want to make sure that everything's all neat and tidy. But that might mean not everything is neat and tidy. That might mean that there's many, maybe a few people that are not going to like you in your local environment when you're trying to do something that is bigger and broader. I want you to look at all of these problems. These are the problems that I study. These are the problems that are very real to all of us. I want you to look at them and start saying, I'm good enough. I am doing the thing that I'm supposed to do. I'm working towards something. So I know when I started this reciprocity project that I was up against all odds. I knew it was very difficult. I tried to get a team together in my town. I live in a small town in Florida, and it did not work out. And that was my first sign that it was like, this is going to be hard. But I didn't take no for an answer. I failed. And so I kept going and building this event. A contract manufacturer built out the platform. And now I continuously build this out. Even though every day there's only a few people that go on to it. Now there's 20 that go on to it every day. When I started, there was 0. And I define and I think about this and I say, one moment I'm thinking in my head, only 20 people are using this and looking at my platform every day, the reciprocity platform. But another definition that you have to think about is say, oh my God, there's 20 people that are using this and looking at it every day. So that expectation, the way that you look at things, the way that you define things is incredibly important. And I want you to think about that. In your situation, what you are going through, nobody else has done it. It's often a lot more difficult than you think it is because there is a system, a broader system that is often against you. Or there's reasons why people don't do it. I want you to really think about this and say, you know what? You're the only one. It's hard, but you're going to get back up and you're going to do it again. It is going to be a journey. That's why we call it a journey, that there's ups and downs. Sometimes it doesn't work out as planned, but you get back up and you do it again. I want you to look at this and say, you know what? This is hard. I'm nobody, and nobody understands what I'm going through. But that is okay. That is what it means to be a hero in my own story. I'm going to get back up. I'm going to go through this. It's going to be very difficult. And then I can openly talk about it, as these are the steps of what it means to do something that nobody else has done before. Try it. See what happens. All of a sudden, your life is going to be changed when you can openly talk about these things and you reframe it in a different way. You'd be surprised what will happen. All right. Take care and have a wonderful day.